3. All right, good.
All right.
You start off.
We're going.
Hello,
What's up, everyone?
everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new episode. It's been a little bit, but felt that we needed to do what we could with, the time being and how the draft is later tonight.
Yeah.
So depending on when we get this video out, it'll probably be
It'll be tonight.
the next day, or sometime tonight maybe.
Yeah, I can
So we should be able to go back and look at our picks. But we're gonna let's start out. Let's go right away. This whole video or this whole podcast is gonna be on just the draft and
Our predictions for
our predictions. It's not gonna be what we think that's gonna happen. It's what we think that the team should pick. So, for instance, if we're talking about pure talent in the draft, and you think that James Wiseman is the most talented player in the draft, and you think he should go number 1, yeah, because he might be the most talented in the draft, but it's all about fit and who we should think that the teams should take.
All right.
So with that, I think we can start off, and Jaden, you can start off with the first pick, and then we'll go around, and we're only doing lottery picks, so we'll go 1 through 14.
So with the first pick, Timberwolves got the pick. For me, it's between Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. I'm taking Anthony Edwards because I want D'Lo to run the point guard. He's the second best ISO player in the league by points per game, behind James Harden. Harden averages 16, so he's in a league of his own. But I'd like to see D'Angelo Russell as the primary ball handler, and I think Anthony Edwards would be a nice fit. Defensively, I'm a little concerned with that. But either way, LaMelo Ball is probably a worse defender. So yeah.
I'd go AE too. I think that AE brings something that LaMelo doesn't. LaMelo brings something that AE doesn't, and I feel like LaMelo almost. I don't want to say he plays like D'Lo, but he brings the same effect as D'Lo.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, of basically just scoring, and more scoring, and then a little bit of playmaking.
Yeah.
And I think that with the percentages he shot, I feel like he's going to be a good shooter in the league, but that might take a little bit of time. And I think that Anthony Edwards will come in right away and produce. In my opinion, he has the most NBA ready body out of all the prospects this year. And defensively, I believe he can get a lot better.
That's for me. I'd also go Anthony Edwards here. In the notes I put down, he's a very good scorer, and I think he can improve drastically on defense, especially if he focuses.
Maybe not a top defender, but I believe he can be a very good defender if he focuses on defense. Because at Georgia, he was the main scorer, so he preserved a lot of his energy for offense because he had to score.
Well, especially now because
now he has D'Lo and Cat, who are 2 great offensive players in their respective positions. He can lay back a little more, hit some wide open jump shots, drive to the hole every once in a while, but also focus more on defense and getting wins that way. I think that was pretty clear. We can go to the next one. By the way, in these picks that we're making, there's no trades. So, obviously, for the second pick, it's the Warriors.
I would trade this pick.
I believe that the Warriors are going to trade down. I think they're still going to end up taking someone in the draft, but I think they're going to trade down, probably around 5 or 6 range. In my opinion, that's where I would trade down. Maybe 4 with the Bulls. There was some talk about that, but anywhere around there, I think that they could trade out and get a solid piece, and then get more pieces with the trade. So, with the second pick, if the Warriors were to keep that, I would take James Wiseman. I believe he can stretch the floor well. He can rebound. He can rim protect. Basically everything that the Warriors need to do. I feel that if he gets into a little bit better shape and gets a little bit faster, he'll play with them even better.
That's an easy pick. I don't think that needs much explaining. But we can
I think it's James Wiseman. I think he has the most potential in this draft of being maybe a Hall of Fame player. Yeah. And he should fit very well within this Warrior system.
I mean, he's a 7'1" stretch 5. You don't get many of those.
I'm not too high on this draft class, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. It was kind of, it wasn't hard to do the mock draft, but it was like, come on now. He really is going the whatever pick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. All right.
Number 3 is the Hornets.
Number 3 is the Hornets. Yeah.
Casey,
Jaden, who do
you
you
want
have?
to do this?
Or
Um,
yeah, whoever.
So for the Hornets, I have them taking LaMelo Ball out of Australia. I think LaMelo's an elite playmaker, but he's just not a good defender or shooter. And I think out of this whole draft, I think he's the biggest potential to be the bust.
Him to work on his work ethic as well. Something about him just his shooting's not good. His defense is terrible, and I think his work ethic does not seem very great at all.
Doesn't seem very promising.
Yep.
I do feel like there's upside with LaMelo, especially at 3. I could see Charlotte taking them and, maybe pulling off a trade for a vet or something like that and gets LaMelo to where LaMelo needs to be.
Yep.
Like I said, he still has potential. It's not completely over for him.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the NBA's top 5 pick.
The way that I feel about LaMelo Ball going into the draft this year is the way that I felt about RJ Barrett going into the draft last year. I see them possibly being great, but I just see a huge potential in them being a bust.
And I still think RJ has potential to be pretty good, but like I said, he's going to need time. Either way, LaMelo is not going to come. I don't believe, at least, LaMelo is going to come out one Rookie of the Year next year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like LaMelo's going to have struggles next year, and then in maybe 2 or 3 years from now, he'd pick it up. And I feel like with Charlotte's not going to care how many shots he takes or misses or whatever. And LaMelo, I don't really think cares about what people say about the amount of shots he takes or misses or whatever. So once he gets more used to the NBA, and he is a great playmaker, once he gets used to playmaking with the bigs and with the vets that they have, I think he'll be okay.
I'm a little concerned about that defense is not going to be good either way.
The defense won't be good right away, but in my opinion, I don't think that the team's not going to be good right away because they're still going to be a lottery team next year anyway.
Yeah,
so
I think
pairing somebody up next year with LaMelo will be good, and I don't really think that they care defensively yet until they're contending when they get another piece or two with LaMelo.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I think LaMelo, they won't be good for the next 2 years, 3 years maybe. I think they might be like an 8th seed in 3 years, but the Hornets have a lot of young players that may be good in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and with Devontae Graham, you always have, say LaMelo comes out and has a bad season this year, and then next year they get a lottery or like a high lottery pick and get a really good, wing or a big or whoever comes out of the draft next year.
Right.
Say they get one of them, and then to piece with LaMelo, Devontae Graham can always be a trade option. Who knows? We'll watch it play out. I think it'll play out pretty well. Number 4 is the Bulls.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I think they're probably going to want to trade up. But as of 4, I think we all have the same. I believe we all have the same pick at 4. I have Denny. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name.
Avdija.
Where is he from?
Israel.
Israel, yeah, Israel. He's an interesting one.
I think he's very good. He's very good all around. He's
great all around. I watched a couple of some of his highlights and some of his games, and he does turn the ball over a lot.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's going to come with age and growing in the NBA.
He could easily end up being a top 3 player in this draft class. That's what I think.
I could see him being the top player in the draft class.
Yeah, that's also what I had.
Jaden, you had Denny, right?
Yes, it was between him and Patrick Williams, but I think Denny's the right pick because
Patrick Williams at 4.
I'm really high on him.
I am too, but I don't know about
Patrick
4.
Williams. That's I was going based off who the Bulls are eyeing, and now they said it's between him and Patrick Williams.
Okay, 5. Jaden, who do you have going to the Cavs?
I have Obi Toppin.
I think I have Obi Toppin.
I have Obi Toppin too. I feel like Obi Toppin is one of those guys that's going to come in, not care about what team he's on and how bad the team is.
Yeah, I mean he went to
if they do end up trading Kevin Love, so be it. If they don't, he can learn from Kevin Love. We've seen little sparks of him at Dayton shooting. I don't think his shooting percentage was great from
No.
3-pointers, but I feel like he can develop a semi-decent 3-point shot, and I feel like that's all he's going to need.
Yeah, I think I have Obi here because I think, like you said, he won't care where he went or he will get drafted. I mean, he went to Dayton for college, and Dayton wasn't really on TV. I don't think he's all about the flash, but Obi Toppin is super athletic, very good shooter, or very good finisher. But
he runs the floor very well for his size.
Yeah.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be a very good piece for that Cavs team in that future that they have. With their two guards, they could make a trade and potentially get a wing to put next to Obi Toppin.
I think I just think his defense might need to be improved just a little bit.
Right. You know, I also think that it needs to be improved, but I think that'll come with time too. All right. Next is 6. Is 6 the Hawks? I believe.
6 is the Hawks. Yes.
Oh yeah.
6 is the Hawks.
My mic was muted.
All right. 6 is the Hawks.
I said all that.
Now this one might be a little bit controversial, but I have Tyrese Halliburton going to the Hawks, and here's why I have Tyrese Halliburton. I feel like the Hawks last year stacked up on wings. They got Cam Reddish, who's I'm still very high on Cam Reddish.
They got
DeAndre Hunter. They still have what's the redhead's name?
Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter. It's another wing that they have. And now obviously some of them can get moved, but I don't think that they need to take another wing here. And Patrick Williams would be the next best wing in the draft, in my opinion. So I have them going Tyrese Halliburton for the simple fact that he has defensive potential and he is one of the best, if not the best shooter in this draft class.
Yeah, even though he has a bunch of injury concerns, I have Onea Okongwu. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that.
Why do they have John Collins?
Yeah, they also have John Collins. That's another reason I moved.
No, but that's the thing. They need another one. I think they need
another one.
I think that because they don't have who are the bigs on the roster? Dwayne Dedmon,
Clint Capella.
I forgot they.
I forgot they had Capella.
Yeah, they have Clint Capella too.
I would have put Halliburton up here. Oh.
Yeah. No, you can move it then, but yeah, I think that Halliburton's gonna. I think he would fit well in there. It'd be a pretty bad defensive. Backcourt at the beginning, but I feel like Halliburton's he's gonna be he's gonna become a better defender because he's not gonna have to have the ball in his hands like he did in college. So I think that Halliburton's the right pick there. And like I said, if he doesn't work out, you trade him.
Yeah.
I think
Jake, who did you have at 6, Jaden?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. 7. We'll go to the Pistons. Who do you guys have for the Pistons?
Patrick Williams.
For me, it's between Killian Hayes and what's his name? Okongwu. But
I have Patrick Williams at this.
Mine might throw you off a little bit then.
I'm going Killian Hayes.
I really like Killian Hayes is probably my favorite player in this draft. Other than maybe Nico Mannion, but that's just from high school.
At this pick, I have Patrick Williams. I think Patrick Williams is very raw. He has a bunch of potential, but could easily end up being a bust. I think he's the biggest boom/bust player in this year's draft.
Yeah, I believe that worst case scenario, he's just a lockdown defender. And best case scenario, he's like, I don't want to say a Kawhi because Kawhi's a superstar, but he would have a play style of Kawhi.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I still don't have him here though. I have Okoro, and I'll tell you why.
Who? I didn't even hear you. I didn't hear it. It faded out for me.
Isaac Okoro.
Oh, I'm high on. I love Isaac Okoro.
I really like Isaac Okoro too. I feel like Isaac Okoro guarded last year at Auburn. They played very good teams at Auburn. He guarded the best player on every team for them. And obviously you're not going to stop the best college basketball players in the world, but he did slow them down. Defensively, like I said, he's another guy with Patrick Williams that defensively is going to be good either way, in my opinion. Offensively, his jump shot looked a little like iffy. If he can get his jump shot to be good, like if he can get a good jump shot, he's going to be very, very good. He's super athletic. He has defense. He can play make a little bit, but he's not going to have to because Detroit, in my opinion, I think Detroit will build around him so that he's like they have a lockdown defense with him, and then they can also score. So I think that the pick for Detroit is Isaac Okoro. I don't think he's the best player. I think there are better players behind him. But for Detroit, I would take Isaac Okoro.
Here for the Pistons, I'd probably go with Patrick Williams. That's what I think they would do. Because I was going through a bunch of other like CBS's mock draft, ESPN's.
Mm-hmm.
They have Pistons have been showing a bunch of interest in Patrick Williams, and I like you said, I do not think that he's the best player on the board, but for the Pistons right now, and especially with the interest they are showing in him, I think they draft him here.
I know Crispy Flakes came out and said multiple times he likes Patrick Williams, so I think
Crispy Flakes isn't the front office of the Pistons.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Next
Shout out
pick
to Crispy
at
Flakes.
Shout out Crispy Flakes. At 8, the Knicks. This, in my opinion, is very clear cut, and I feel like he'd fit in very, very well and would have a very, very good career. At 8 for the Knicks, I have Killian Hayes.
I also have Killian Hayes at 8 for the Knicks.
I believe Killian Hayes can be very good. For the Knicks, he's another guy that turns the ball over a lot, and he did in France last year. Yeah. But I was looking at it, he was also like the youngest kid in the league.
Yeah.
He was one of the youngest players in the league. He was getting used to pro. I feel like I'm pretty sure it was one of his first pro years. And he has a lot of offensive upside. Defensively, he plays the passing lanes well. About it.
Here, if you guys want to see what I put on Killian Hayes, go check on our 3-on-3 TikTok.
Yeah, go look at the TikTok. He said something about Killian Hayes that was.
Killian Hayes is my most underrated player in this draft class. I think
I really like Killian Hayes. Yeah,
he is good. He has good frame for a guard at 6'5". I think he needs to improve on the shot off the dribble. I think he was not a good. He was a good shot, like step back. He was good at that in overseas, but he needs to improve just catch and shoot. That's one thing he needs to improve behind the line. That's what I think he needs to improve on.
Yeah, and then but Jaden, you have Killian Hayes here, right?
He was my pick for the Pistons.
Oh wait, so who do you have here?
I'm gonna go with Devin Vassell. Definitely so. He's a 6'7" shooting guard forward. Yes, they have Barrett, but he's a great two-way player. He has a lot of upside, in my opinion. So yeah, Devin Vassell.
I see him dropping. I have him dropping in my draft.
I have him dropping also.
We're only doing the first 15, but I have him dropping to 16. I'm pretty sure. The reason I have him dropping to 16 is I feel like the teams above him need something that he doesn't bring, which he does bring. He's a great two-way player, but the teams above him, in my opinion, need a little bit more playmaking than he does, or they need, better defense or something that he doesn't have. Even though he's a very good prospect, I just don't feel like he fits with the team.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we'll go a little bit quicker now. Wizards at 9, I have a Kongwu. They were looking at him. He would fit great with John Wall and Bradley Beal. And I feel like he can run like a Bam.
They also have a Kongwu at this pick. I think a Kongwu is very talented. He's only 19 years old because I switched up because I forgot the Pelicans, or not the Pelicans, the Hawks had Capella. Yeah. So I think he, just for looking at some highlights and some tape, he's very good rebounder and finisher. But injury concerns could easily make him drop out of this number 9 pick and even maybe out of the lottery.
Right. Yeah. And I think that the Wizards can look past those injury concerns and go from there. This pick is very, very. Oh yeah. You have one.
I know who I'm taking for this one. I think it's Patrick.
The Suns.
Yeah.
I have Patrick Williams at 10 going to the Suns. This might be the best fit out of all of the picks that we have, for me at least. Patrick Williams to the Suns would completely uplift the Suns, in my opinion.
So here, because I already have Patrick Williams going 7, at number 10, I have Isaac Okoro from Auburn.
Which is another good pick if Patrick Williams isn't there. So either way, in my opinion, they win if they get Okoro or
Williams. Yeah, I agree. So so number 11 Spurs pick.
This is going to be interesting in my opinion. I feel like the Spurs are going to bring somebody out that we weren't expecting at this.
I did Sadiq Bey out of Nova. He's a very, very good shooter. He shot over 45% at Nova, and he also has a very high IQ, which Pop likes. So,
and he's tall, isn't he? Tall, isn't he? Like 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah, he's 6'7", 6'8" as a shooting guard. Which
I wouldn't.
Which is great size.
I wouldn't do this, but for some reason, the Spurs, I'm feeling they're going to do something dumb and take, like, Aaron Nesmith for some reason. I really like Nesmith, but I just think that'd be way too much.
I have him. No, he's the best shooter in the draft.
Yeah, and they need shooting, so honestly.
I have R.J. Hampton.
I forgot about him.
Is gonna bring a lot of offensive upside. He's very athletic. I think his jump shot still has a lot of potential. Defensively, he's a pretty good defender. And I feel like RJ Hampton with Pop would be nuts. Because he can run 1, he can run 2, he can run a little bit of 3. Plus Lonnie's coming up with them. I feel like that fit would be perfect.
I'm also really high on DeJounte Murray. He's not in the draft. But...
And DeJounte Murray's a better defender. So if RJ Hampton turns out to not be a great defender in the first couple years, you have DeJounte Murray there.
Might be the best defensive guard in the league.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would take.
Hold on.
I would take.
Who are you taking? I'd take Sadiq Bey. That's who I take.
And next
I wouldn't be
we'll
surprised.
Just go straight into the. We'll go straight.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs took Aleksis Pokazevsky.
Yeah, I have him a lot farther down.
Yeah, but he'll either go to the Spurs or the Mavericks. Yeah, I'm calling it.
Spurs or the Mavericks?
The Mavericks? Wait, is he a good defender or no?
No, absolutely not.
Then if he's not a good defender, the Mavericks should not. They need to.
I have him going to the Nuggets at 22. That seems like a Nuggets pick.
I think he might go to the Mavs at 18. Because
maybe.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe just because he's a white international player that's 7 foot and can shoot. But that's where I have him at. So,
all right, let's move on to let's do these last two fairly quickly. 12s for the Kings. I have Sadiq Bey. If he would go one up to the Spurs, I would probably have them taking Nesmith. But because Sadiq Bey's still there, I have Sadiq Bey.
I have for the Kings pick, I have Nesmith. I said he's an elite shooter. Like that's exactly he has good potential, and I think he's easily the best shooter in his class.
I think he has defensive potential too, as like a great 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
Jaden, who do you have at 12?
Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey, okay. And then going straight to 13, which also kind of ties into 12 and 11. I have Nesmith.
I have Okoro.
For the Pelicans.
Oh, you have Okoro dropping at 13?
I just have Pelicans. Yes, I forgot about him.
Oh, you forgot about
Okoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Nesmith. Nesmith's a great shooter. We know who Nesmith is. Him dropping to 13 with Lonzo would help the shooting out a lot. They just lost Drew Holiday. They just got Eric Bledsoe too. So it's I feel like it would work out really
I could see them here drafting Kira Lewis out of Bama. He's a very good defender.
I think his name's Kyra.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Kyra.
Yeah, the guard from Alabama.
Yeah, he's super fast. He can run. He's 6'4", so he can run both point guard and shooting guard. And I think, I just don't know. There's no one else here that I think they could draft. Because unless they go after Precious Achiuwa.
Achiuwa is going to be good, I think. I still have him. I have him dropping to 25 because I think that he's going to – I don't see any teams that are there that would, love him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely a great prospect. We'll go to 14 Celtics. Who do you have, Jade?
I have to think about this. I forgot about this. I didn't do this.
Here, I did this one.
Yeah,
I have Devin Vassell.
Okay.
I think he just hold on, let me look at my scouting report.
I was looking at him too, but I feel like they already have Jaylen Brown and Tatum as wings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're gonna want another two-way wing.
I think Devin Vassell has a bunch of potential. I think he could also run the one, so I think he could end up being the best 3-and-D prospect in this draft.
Maybe a Coro, Patrick Williams, but I could see that. All right, and we'll move we're at 14 Celtics. I have them taking Kyra Lewis from Alabama, 6'4" guard, great defensively. Mm-hmm. He can create his own shot. He's a great finisher. And I feel like he can learn from why am I blanking? The point guard. For the Celtics.
Kemba Walker.
Kemba, yeah. Kemba, or which one? Backup?
Kemba. Yeah, Kemba. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. But I could see Kyra Lewis learning from Kemba Walker getting a little bit better shot and becoming a very good guard next to Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Quickly, because we don't have much time left.
I think.
Go ahead.
I didn't take him yet. Okongwu.
Okay.
Okongwu.
It is Okongwu. Also at that 14th pick, I could easily see the Celtics trading out of it.
I could see them trading out of it. I could see them maybe taking Cole Anthony for the simple fact that I feel like Brad Stevens might be able to deal with his attitude problems a little bit, and they're coming in and winning right away. So Cole Anthony will be happier about that. I do have him falling out of the lottery, going 15 to the Magic. Some more people that I think will be good. 29,
Maxey.
I have Jamias. Maxey's going to be good. I have him going to the Sixers at 21.
I also someone I don't have in the lottery. RJ Hampton has potential to be good, but I just don't know if he will. He needs to go to the right team to be good.
Okay. In my opinion, one of the best players in the draft, I think, will be Jamaicas Ramsey. I have him dropping to 29, going to the Raptors. I feel like him with the Raptors and their culture will be great, and I feel like he's going to be a very, very good player in the NBA. He could go in the second round, but I would take him late first round if I were those teams.
Especially because they're contending.
Yeah, and because they're contending. Another one. I'll do two quick ones. Malachi Flynn, I have him going 20 to the Heat. That will be a great spot for him because he doesn't have to shine defensively, but he can be a great shooter and score. And then, in my opinion, one of the steals of the draft will be 23. The Jazz taking Josh Green. I feel like that will be insane.
Josh Green's a beast. I watched
out of Arizona. He went to IMG. I think that him next to Donovan Mitchell would be perfect because he doesn't have to score all the points. He doesn't have to shoot, but he can finish and rebound and run the floor and be good there.
And especially,
do you guys have anybody else you wanna talk about quick before we get off?
One second round potential player, Lamar Stevens. I love Lamar Stevens.
Lamar Stevens is gonna be good.
I think he'll be good. Just from what we watched, how he elevated that Penn State team, because no one's saying Penn State is a basketball program. They normally say it's football, even though this year they're 0-4 and lost to Maryland. But, but I think Lamar Stevens could end up being one of the steals of the draft.
All right. I think, Jay, do you have any more, or are we good?
I do not. I do not.
All right. So then we'll sign off. We'll see you whenever we film the next one, and peace out.
We might what do you guys think about Friday?
Maybe Friday. Yeah, we can do one Friday.
Oh, wait. I'm going to my dad's at night, so yeah, we can do it during the day. All right, stay tuned for a podcast.
All right.
Peace.
See ya.